He is risen. He is not here. He is risen.
Manifest is currently undergoing a movement to have it uncancelled after it was cancelled. With all the attention this is creating, it may not be a case of if the show is returned, but rather which network does it. With a slim possibility of return, let's look at the Manifest cast behind-the-scenes secrets and reveal them to you. How the creator came upon the idea for the show. While on a family trip 10 years before the show's premiere, creator Jeff Ray came up with the concept for the show. When it was pitched to television networks, it was continually rejected. In 2014, following the disappearance of Malaysia Airlines Flight 370, Jeff claimed in an interview that my crazy pie-in-the-sky idea felt a little bit more real. Relatable. Years later, Jeff brought his concept to the public's attention once more, which sparked a lot of interest and was finally picked up by NBC. Why call the show Manifest? A manifest is a noun that refers to a roster of passengers for a boat or a plane. The use of the verb make itself known alludes to something making itself known, such as physical symptoms or destiny. The idea for Manifest is not entirely original. This is the fourth series, counting the show Manifest, in which the pilot episode is centered on inexplicable events that occur on a passenger airline, in at least the 21st century. Lost, Fringe, and The Strain are some of the other shows on the list. The first two episodes were produced by J.J. Abrams, and the third and final episode was produced by Lost colleague Carlton Cuse, respectively. Lost was filmed in Hawaii. Fringe's pilot episode was shot in Toronto but set in Boston, with the rest of the season filmed in New York City and the later seasons filmed in Vancouver. The Strain was set in New York City, but the majority of the filming took place in Toronto. Manifest was set and filmed in New York, and The Walking Dead was set and filmed in Los Angeles. Manifest may become a movie. On July 1, 2021, Rake said that he intends to bring the cancelled series to a close on the parameters agreed upon by its followers. Following the cancellation of the show by NBC in June, Rake revealed to Entertainment Weekly that he is already working on preparations for a possible feature-length film to conclude the narrative of Montego Air Flight 828. Despite the fact that there hasn't been a buyer yet, Rake is optimistic, especially given the success that Manifest has experienced since it was released on Netflix shortly before it was cancelled. Repetition of the number 828 and aircraft terminology. Every episode has the number 828 or anything similar related to it in some form. For example, Michaela's apartment number is 414, which is one half of the total number of apartments in the building, 828. The runway number 28 on which the jet takes off in the opening credits is part of the number 828. The house number for Jared and Lourdes is 3528. 3 plus 5 equals 8, so again, 828. Like verse location and flight number. Ben and Grace's house number, as seen as in episode number 3, is 2414, using the first number 2 as the multiplier. 2 times 4 equals 8, 2 times 1 equals 2, and 2 times 4 equals 8 gives us the flight number 828. Each episode's title, as well as the show's overall title, is related to airplanes or air travel, with the exception of the pilot episode, which is simply titled Pilot. Look out for these Easter eggs when you watch any episodes again. Why is the pilot called Bill Daly? Bill Daly is the name of the pilot that would be flying Flight 828. Bill Daly was a character actor who appeared on The Bob Newhart Show and I Dream of Jeannie, in which he played an airplane navigator and an astronaut. Josh Dallas keeps playing characters that are younger than they seem. Josh Dallas has played characters that have been influenced by the passage of time and who appear to be younger than he actually is on several occasions. Prior to this, he starred as Prince Charming on the ABC television series Once Upon a Time, in which he played a man in his late 20s who had a daughter who was the same age as him and a teenager as a grandson. Also interesting is that Matt Long, Zeke, starred as the prince in Sydney White, a modern version of Snow White, and Josh Dallas, Ben, starred as Prince Charming, Snow White's prince in the ABC television series Once Upon a Time in the Kingdom Come. Robert Zemeckis has done these types of projects before. Robert Zemeckis is one of the executive producers of the film. As a director, he has experience with time travel and timeline aberrations, having worked on all 3 Back to the Future films and the Forrest Gump film, among other projects. Zemeckis is also a private pilot who, as of October 2012, has accumulated about 1,600 hours of flight time in his career. During an emergency landing, he uses a Cirrus SR-20, which is distinguished by the presence of a parachute that, under certain conditions, can lower the plane to the ground and save lives. A few similarities and connections in Dallas's character. The character of Benjamin Stone, played by Josh Dallas, is named after the Executive Assistant District Attorney Benjamin Stone from Law & Order Special Victims Unit, which is also an NBC production. In addition, Ben Stone, a doctor who played Michael J. Fox in Doc Hollywood and who had collaborated with Robert Zemeckis, was cast in the film. Answers that are unanswered in Manifest. Not everything about Manifest is known. Do you have any ideas about these? There is no such thing as an unanswered question in the word of Manifest. The mystery surrounding why the passengers of Journey 828 received prophetic callings after leaping forward 5 years in the middle of the flight was, in fact, one of the film's primary attractions, or its most significant mistake, according to others. After 3 seasons, it appeared that viewers would never find out the ultimate meaning of it all, and with NBC's cancellation of the science fiction drama and Netflix's unwillingness to pick it up, it's a sad certainty that fans will be left in the dark for the foreseeable future. After learning that there would be no Season 4, the Manifest Season 3 finale revealed 3 alternative reactions that viewers can have. If you ask hardcore fans, they would undoubtedly agree with Grace when she told Ben that they had given up hope in their hunt for Cal. Just because we don't have an answer doesn't mean we give up hope that one exists. Although speculating about the show's future is less entertaining when it isn't returning, hypotheses can still be born on message boards and other media platforms indefinitely. Ben's comments after Sanvi encourages him to have faith suggests another possible Manifest fan reaction. I'm trying, but I don't understand. What was the reason for the calling's need to regain the tail fin? Is the lifeboat notion a genuine thing? And if it is, do the occupants stand a chance of surviving until their scheduled death time? Is there a scientific explanation for the compulsions? Or is it more likely to be religious in nature? What exactly is the problem with dark lightning, and why does time travel have to be a part of the story in the first place? Frustrated viewers may choose for the third, more defeatist option, as demonstrated by Jared's statement to Michaela outside Vance's house. I'm tired of these callings. I'm done with them. It doesn't matter to me what they desire. I don't care what they said. As a result of the passengers' disagreement over who should be in charge of protecting them from either the death date or the NSA watch list, it becomes easier to concentrate on the immediate dangers the callings pose, such as Angelina's kidnapping of her guardian angel or Egan's ill-conceived power grab that nearly killed Vance's son. Grace, on the other hand, is a victim of circumstance. Seeing an older version of Flight 828's most powerful passenger return just as Grace was about to take her last breath was perhaps the most moving moment of the Manifest Season 3 finale. It's likely that Cal knew what was about to happen to his mother even as he departed to wherever he was going. Cal even provided a fourth line of conversation that could have given viewers hope for answers if the show had been renewed. It's all right, I understand. I know exactly what we need to do at this point. Of course, his knowledge doesn't help him with things like the sudden appearance of the long-absent Captain Daly or his subsequent disappearance along with the burnt remains of the airplane he piloted, but that's just how Manifest has always managed to keep its fans guessing. By keeping them guessing. Was Fiona Clark, who had flown into a dark lightning storm with the captain earlier in the season, also on board the plane at the end of the season finale? Is it safe to say that the time jumps at this moment appear to be arbitrary? Or is there some sort of logic to them that we aren't seeing? Because of the level of confusion that existed during the duration of the series, it is questionable whether anyone other than the most dedicated Manifest viewers would have been interested in finding out the answers if the show had not been cancelled. Many television shows and movies conclude with a rush of ending explained articles, but in the case of Manifest, such an endeavor would be doomed to failure by the inescapable thematic equivalent of who the heck knows. With that, we have come to the end of the video. What is your take on Manifest? Do you think the show will return for Season 4, and on which network?